Got a big one today. Are you guys ready? Cosmos 2.0. Now, you might have heard about it. It was announced on September 26th, 27th. It's been a big deal. It's been huge. Let's be honest. This is one of the bigger upgrades after the merge, maybe. But hey, to each their own. We're gonna be diving into Cosmos 2.0, what it means, why you should care, and of course, we'll be answering some very interesting questions on why this is so important for the future of crypto. So let's dive in. Go. All right, quick recap. What the heck is Cosmos? Well, Cosmos is the Internet of blockchains. Cosmos was built with one primary objective, creating a place where new blockchains can come, connect, and create this Cosmo of blockchains. Now, we can enter a new universe of connected services, heart of the interchain, all that. I covered Cosmos a lot more deep in a different video. If you guys missed that, go check that out so you understand what Cosmos is. There's a lot of resources on Cosmos, but we are here for 2.0. What does that mean? Because that is the biggest update. We have here the Cosmos Hub, new white paper on Cosmos 2.0, what it means. So the quick introduction, Cosmos was created in 2016 with one main objective, creating a connection, creating a place for application-specific blockchains to connect and interact and thus have an internet of blockchains. Now, this paper is 27 pages, so unless you guys want to have just join me for a reading, comment below. Maybe you guys are into that. I'm going to be diving into the most important things on what you need to know of this 2.0 white paper because it's dense. They really went all out on what is Cosmos. So there is still an active forum when they're discussing specific updates, specific things on how different things will work. So this is definitely going to be something interesting and relevant to keep up with. I will be posting that in my Twitter. Of course, in the Burb Nest, we always post that ahead of time for everyone to find out and keep up to date. So as we know, Cosmos is the interchain, the place where all blockchains can connect, blockchains can launch seamlessly and very, very easily. Now, this is the map of zones of the most active Cosmos blockchains. We can have, of course, Cosmos Hub. We have Juno, we got Osmosis, we got Kujira, which I have covered already. You guys should go check out that video. Secret Network providing privacy. Axelar actually bridging all of Cosmos to Ethereum into other networks, one of the biggest bridges. So this is the Cosmos space. Now, why is Cosmos 2.0 so important? Why does it even matter? Delphi intern, great guy. He made these incredible notes of the white paper. We'll be covering these notes. We'll be covering a couple other amazing threads by different people because they have done incredible work already on what you need to know. So Cosmos 2.0, the intro, as I covered, 2016. It's an association of autonomous communities connected through Cosmos Hub. As I mentioned, all these different blockchains that connect thanks to Cosmos. And it is all built using the Cosmos Tendermint. This is the basic function of Cosmos. And with this new idea of the Cosmos was built on the Cosmos stack, being redundant here. Tendermint, IBC, and Cosmos SDK is where it kind of all began. And the next layer of the stack will be Interchange Security, liquid staking, and Interchain Scheduler and Interchain Allocation. So that is the next step for Cosmos, as we can see here. So the architecture, as I mentioned, is a Cosmos stack. Next, we will have the Interchain Security. So route to DeFi also broke it down really nicely. So we can see here the Cosmos Interchain. I actually have a beautiful screenshot right here for you. And this kind of breaks it down how Cosmos is a political union of sovereign interoperable blockchains with shared public infrastructure. Regions of Interchain features utilizing Atom comprise the Cosmos network. So, what is this mumbo jumbo? So, Cosmos is connecting a lot of different blockchains. Now, with Cosmos 2.0, what will happen is Cosmos is going to be expanding the infrastructure so that new blockchains can build and interact more easily without needing to do so much of the legwork. Now, that's huge because of course, when you have something like Cosmos, or when you want to launch your own project with your own chain, it can create a lot of difficulties, or it can be quite complicated. But with Cosmos, it's going to be as easy as launching a smart contract. And that is the next step in Cosmos. If I scroll to that, it's really, you can see that I'm totally slow right now because my brain is kind of still processing all of what's happening with Cosmos. But essentially, what this means is that with the new Cosmos stack and with the way that Cosmos is being built out, you're going to have Tendermint and Cosmos SDK that help you build your blockchain. IBC helps you connect to all the other IBC connected blockchains. And then you're going to have an interchain scheduler and allocator, which helps you match blocks to make it more efficient and maximize block space to actually use all of the validator activity. Interchain Security is going to allow you to launch your own blockchain without needing your own validators, which makes it much cheaper, much capital efficient, and easier for new app specific chains to launch. And finally, liquid staking is going to allow for more capital efficiency across Cosmos for everyone to use their capital in a more efficient way, providing staking, securing the network, while also being able to play around, borrow, lend, swap, all that fun stuff we can do on DeFi. So a lot to cover, I know. Let's try to bring it back, round it all down a bit. We'll go through some of these threads because they are quite great. So as Route2Fi says, Cosmos was successfully initiated the Internet of Blockchains, achieving its early goals by implementing the software stack used to build and connect app chains, meaning Cosmos SDK, IBC, and Tendermint. That is what we covered. So you can kind of picture this as Cosmos is at the center. All these new blockchains are these zones, and they're all connected through the Cosmos stack. Straightforward, we're all good here. So Cosmos 2.0 brings in this new issuance model, also changing how Cosmos will work. What does this mean? Atom will now change its issuance, similar to how we saw Ethereum cut its inflation or its payout to miners by almost 3 times or 3x. Atom is also going to be cutting its issuance because of the new upgrade. So over the span of 36 months, Cosmos will be cutting the amount of Atom issuance to validators by quite a bit. Right now, issuance is right around 100 million a month, which is huge. And by the end of the 36 months, it's going to be right around 600,000, if I'm not mistaken. So completely slashing issuance. So we can see the issuance right here. It's going to slide down until it levels out, flattens out. Issuance getting completely slashed on Atom. This is going to be great because it's going to provide less inflation on the token and more value. Now, Cosmos 2.0 is centered all around bringing back value to Cosmos or to Atom, to the token itself, as well as Atom. Because so far, as we can see in the snap of zones, there's just so many different networks, but the Cosmos Hub doesn't get as much love because there's not as many things to do there. And Atom is an asset without that increased value. Now, there's so much to cover on that, but with 2.0, the value will come back to Atom by a couple different forms. Now, liquid staking is number one. What liquid staking allows is for you to stake your asset and earn something like on Lido, when you get STETH, you will be earning your staking rewards while still having a liquid asset that you can continue to use. Now, with Interchain Security, number 2, you can also earn from other protocols that are launching, as we saw here. Maybe all these tiny protocols on the outside, Starname, Omniflex, Loom Network, all these smaller protocols find it too expensive to have their own validators. So they will use Interchain Security to use and leverage the validators from the Cosmos Hub, which now secure around over $1 billion in value from staked Atom. And they instead pay those validators with their token to borrow that security, creating this shared security space. Now, Interchain security is probably one of the biggest things because it really allows for new protocols to launch a lot quicker and with a lot less um, price in terms of validators. Validators aren't cheap. You need to run a node, you need to run computers, you need a bunch of different people. And the Cosmos Hub is already fairly decentralized. So this allows for many, many validators to participate, to run a node, and for all these smaller chains to use that shared security. So as we know, this whole Cosmos Hubs allows for this interchain security, which is not shown here. Great. But that is the general idea of securing all these different nodes. Now, let's continue as we see that the value will be coming back to Atom. So as we see, new Cosmos projects can rent security from the Cosmos Hub validators. This results in security for new projects plus extra coins for new Cosmos ecosystems that are launching to stakers of Atom. So this means if you're staking your Atom, not only will you be earning Atom tokens, but you'll also be earning tokens from any protocol that is using interchain security. So the next thing is the scheduler. Now this one gets really complicated because you need to understand blockchain and so on. But essentially, it's going to allow for maximizing block space, making the network more efficient, while also maximizing value as well as rewards to the people that are filling out this block space. So this is going to be quite interesting because the way you can actually monetize this is by MEV, which means maximum extractable value. This used to have a lot of space in Ethereum, and now with Cosmos, it's going to create a big role because, of course, it's going to allow for all these different chains to interact and then use this MEV. Now, what's interesting here is instead of allowing for a third party to come in and use MEV, the interchain scheduler, it's actually focusing this to be an on-chain participation and action. So instead of creating all of these external off-chain cartels, it's bringing it all on-chain, thus creating a more fair environment for everyone to participate in. Next, of course, is Cosmos will be a reserve asset. So all of these allocators and schedulers will be finalizing in Atom, will be using Atom as that token. Let's hop over to Meet Wawa because I love the way he makes his threads and educates people. He actually makes comics on how it all kind of goes down, what's happening with Atom. So I do really like the way he broke down some of this. So Atom is the governance token of Cosmos. Cosmos, as we mentioned, is a layer 0 blockchain where everyone can build new blockchains. So what's more is it allows for apps to have their own specialized chain. So as we mentioned, for example, DYDX is moving to Cosmos because they will have their own blockchain. They will set their own rules on their own blockchain, but also be interacting with everyone else through that Cosmos hub. So a key feature of the Cosmos SDK is a revolutionary IBC module, which allows blockchains to talk to one another like never before. And that's what I was talking about. So IBC allows everyone to communicate seamlessly with without the need for bridges, and that's the most important thing. Um, and here is where it gets interesting as well. The chain A and chain B, how everything communicate. Let's say you want to borrow money from chain A, but you have no assets there. However, you have an NFT asset on chain B. It would get chain A to tell chain B to send my NFT over, and I can then collateralize and borrow against it on chain A. So all of the different chains can communicate without the need for a bridge. It just allows for so much. Now, interchain security, as we mentioned, instead of buying your own private security, you're renting out security from someone that already has it all set up. Again, if you guys want to go through all these comics, get a good breakdown on what Cosmos 2.0 is, and or just kind of enjoy this different way of learning, I'll be linking all of these threads in the show notes below. Of course, Emperor Osmo, another great threader, another great breakdown of the Cosmos 2.0 roadmap. So the vision is sovereign, local, and interoperable. It's allowing everyone to create their own blockchain without the need of the huge infrastructure. Cosmos 2.0, as we mentioned over here, is creating the base layer and expanding the base layer of what everyone needs to launch a blockchain without launching all of these blockchains. So it's allowing people to really have freedom in how they expand. Now, let's kind of take it all back because I know that was a lot to handle. I want to wrap all this up with a basic understanding of a FAT protocol thesis. Now, this is article that breaks down a little more by Avi Feldman. This article is actually pretty old, but really the FAT protocol thesis goes back to this very old 2016 article of FAT protocols saying applications are more important than the protocols. Now, if we take this to something like Web2 with Amazon, Facebook, and so on, those are the applications, whereas the protocol layer was something like STMP for email transfers, HTTP for hyperlinks, TC and IP for data transfer. So all of these applications are built on top of these protocols like Facebook and Amazon, but you don't actually see the protocol. Crypto kind of flipped this with Ethereum being a huge protocol level, and all the applications built on top of Ethereum helped support the protocol. Now, with Cosmos 2.0, you get this mix of application layer where you get all these application specific chains while you get the protocols benefiting from all these different applications. Now, in reality, Cosmos is a mix of the FAT protocol thesis with the application thesis with FAT protocol thesis. So FAT application, FAT protocol mixing together because it allows for independent app-specific chains to all launch and bring in value to themselves, while also bringing value to the rest of the IBC, and thus connecting all of this in a positive flywheel where money comes in and moves around the system and everyone benefits. So this is rather interesting on what Cosmos is doing because it's enabling people to create all these positive flywheels in the heart of the interchain. So if you guys have any questions, I know I rambled a lot because there really is a lot to cover on the Cosmos 2.0 roadmap. I will be trying to do a specific breakdown, and I will also be writing a little bit more on this FAT protocol thesis because Cosmos is really flipping all of this and creating a new thesis where essentially everyone gets FAT because apps specifically can benefit, protocols can benefit, and Cosmos will create this base layer where everyone can use IBC, Interchain Security, and the Atom token will be at the center of that as the base reserve currency where everyone can benefit. So that is going to be very interesting. And you guys should definitely keep an eye out for how Atom will become the base reserve currency for the Cosmos SDK. Again, this is still evolving. It's set to launch in 2023. So let's look over a little bit on Delphi intern, the positive flywheel. Atom becomes the preferred collateral in the ecosystem, where the hub becomes a long-term holder of ecosystem assets, and it encourages more participants to join and the network and interact. Now, let's wrap it up with that because there was so much that was covered. If you guys want to do a deeper dive into what all of this means, how all of this works, definitely look into all the show notes. There's a lot that was cited today. But I hope it was helpful. Atom 2.0 is, in my opinion, one of the biggest things happening in crypto. And in the next couple of years, we will see how all of this develops. So thank you guys for joining. Follow me on Twitter, King Julian I am. Join the Burb Nest. Check out the links. We'll probably try to share a link so you can check it out for free. We share a lot of alpha on what is happening in the crypto space, so don't miss out on that. And like always, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Peace.